I guess maybe if we wanted to end, Lisa, I know that's something, family is very important to you, and you mentioned it already, like your auntie in Mahuika, and you talked about that the digital marae is really an idea of home in motion, and that is something, I know your most recent work, for example, has been working with female members of your family and rephotographing them. Do you want to perhaps, do you think that that's an appropriate end? Would you like to comment on that in terms of about the importance of family and how you work with family in your work? Since
Cheap
there's
models.
some here. No, not
Cheap
that
models.
aspect.
It's not very serious, I think, is it? Well, they're beautiful, and I just did a series with my 4 nieces, and in a way that is, I suppose it's more a portrait of me and my sisters. That's how I think about that. Through them, there's a photograph of us. But the thing that the work is more about for me is there's a Maori word which is taonga, and that word means a treasure. And so I'm really interested in what is a taonga, what is a treasure, where does it reside. So what I did is I negotiated working with a Kolawai collection that belonged to Te Papa in Wellington.
And that's the cloaks?
The cloaks. And I flew my 4 nieces down, and we had a weekend where I had a hairdresser and a makeup artist, and I treated them like the princesses that they are, and we did this photographic shoot. But what's more interesting for me is not so much the objects that came out of that. So once the works come down from Te Papa, I'll give them to my nieces, and then I just think maybe in 20 or 30 years' time someone will ask a question about them, and so the artwork actually is in the memory that we had this weekend together. So to me that's I suppose that's where the treasure resides. It's not so much in the object, but the kind of philosophy or the reasoning that sits around it. So because I think photographing my auntie and then her passing away, and of course photography becomes these mementos, and so they gather a different gravitas with time, and then I was thinking, well, it is actually the fact that you had that time together, and then there's this kind of document, and it's really marvellous turning your friends into icons, I think. Beautiful. I mean, these works travel a lot, and they get invited to be seen a lot. I mean, I don't think of myself as a photographer particularly. It's not my specialty, but it's really what you're thinking that sits around the work that's more interesting to me. Yeah. Well, I would just, while everyone's in this room, because it's so lovely to have people in this room. Oh, you do nice. I'm trying to be Mariah carrying. Something that I really like to do is sing inside the space to kind of activate it for the rest of the showing, the Unnerved exhibition, and it's so nice to have lots of people in here keeping it warm. So thank you very much for listening to me. Nā te reo pare karangaronga, Aotearoa, whakarongo mai, ko rangi nui, e tu e hone, papa tu anuku, e te koto mai. Nā te reo pare karangaronga, te wahine a kupe, Aotearoa, nā te reo pare karangaronga, te wahine